Michael Rubin, the creepy billionaire rappers sell their souls to. Hey man, we all done seen the little baby. We seen little baby, and we seen that boy Meek Mill at the party, the all white. So now we're gonna find out who Michael Rubin is and what he be doing. Let's see what he is.
I don't know Michael Rubin. But a lot of times, the nerdy whites, they want to partner up with the kids at the cool table. Snoop told a story one time when he said the dudes from Uber was with Suge, and they begged Suge.
Man, I I've done some research on this man Suge Knight. He one of them. He one of them. He one of them. He'll get shit done.
To come introduce them to Snoop. These dudes be going to Seed Capital. I just want to be around Kevin Durant. I want to be around Nas. I want to be around all of these cool people that I grew up on. I was a nerdy dude. Now I got enough money to mesh with them.
Everyone knows that money rules the world, and the rap game is no exception to that rule. But the puppet master behind many iconic artists is a truly sinister and creepy man. Michael Rubin is an industry tycoon, and his name really started circulating along with this embarrassing clip of gangster rapper Meek Mill, as some of you may recall, where bro was literally bunny hopping like an absolute psychopath on camera.
Why are you doing bunny hops, Meek? Because you got your ass beat in tennis. You got your ass beat. Keep going. Count out loud.
This video is crazy.
Count out loud.
And it's slowly coming to light that he is your
This said
favorite
count out
rapper's
loud.
favorite billionaire, orchestrating a large network of young black talents across hip-hop and even sports. Even the likes of 50 Cent have been seen clowning rappers close to Michael Rubin. From the outside looking in, it seems like a pretty good idea to associate yourself with a
That man
billionaire,
50.
as there are countless
He knows
benefits
what's
being
going
tied
on.
to such wealth. But the quote-unquote benefits that Michael Rubin comes with tend to be questionable.
He's
at
staying away.
best.
Don't be making fun of me when I'm drunk. You're gonna get another drunken hug tonight. I don't care what anyone says. You're
Look at this man, little baby, laughing like that.
getting a drunken.
And he got them horse teeth
You
too.
too.
Not gonna lie.
You two drunken hugs are coming tonight.
It's your boy Luesta, and today we're gonna unpack the unsettling hold that Michael Rubin has on hip-hop culture. But before we get ahead of ourselves, we gotta understand his origins in the world of hip-hop and the power that he holds outside of the game that you'll see extends farther than anyone really knows. With 11 big B's to his name, it's hard to
Damn.
imagine Michael Rubin ever starting off with humble
That boy using-
beginnings, but
that boy
that's
using all his
exactly how
money.
the story goes. Like many
the lower
kids,
the
he
rappers
started
say.
shoveling snow
Said,
when
"Hey,
he was
man."
only 8 years old, and by the time he was
Hey man, I'll give you $250,000 to promote your album, but you gotta come here.
12, he had a ski repair shop that eventually raked in $125K a year. His keen eye for business carried into adulthood, and perhaps his most important money move came in an early investment with Fanatics, the top sports merchandise company in the entire world. This wasn't a one-off expense though. Rubin loved sports, and he eventually was inspired to purchase the Philadelphia 76ers and became its most popular owner, despite sharing the team with several others. And it was courtside at a Philly game where he met the gangster rapper Meek Mill, fresh off the scene after coming up
The
with
beginning of
moving
Meek Mill.
and raw bars like these.
Some summer nights can even turn cold. In the streets of Philly where niggas don't even get to turn old. My heart pumping to it turn gold.
The two men were from completely different worlds, but they would end up having far more in common than one would expect, and they would begin to bond over sports, business, and more. As conversation continued, no one would expect the can of worms that was about to burst open from this single interaction, and it would change the course of modern rap entirely.
So my daughter was just talking to Nikki, and Meek's like, you know, in his way, he's like, "Who are you?" I'm like, you know.
See, if I were to ever get into, I don't know anybody in the industry, but if I were in the industry and I seen this man, something is going on. That's all I gotta, like, there's something going on behind the scenes. He up to something.
The Sixers guy. No. And then within a second, what I loved about Meek from the moment I met him, he just started peppering me with business questions. Like, hey, if I want to do this, how would you do that? And if I want to just do this in sports, and if I want to put this deal together.
Yeah, you can see it in his face. The bags, the way over his
They
eyes is
continued
shaped.
to meet a few
And then you can
times
see
as
in his
a
eyes,
friendship
too.
was truly
He
beginning
up
to
to something.
form, and in their talks, Rubin would eventually learn about Meek Mill's ongoing legal struggle.
One night, maybe we'd hung out at the games maybe 10 times, and we were at halftime. And I'll remember this for the rest of my life. I said, hey, I'm going with some friends to the Borgata afterwards. You want to come? He said, I'm not allowed. I'm like, do you need permission from your mom? That's literally what I said to him. I said, you need permission from your mom? I was joking. I was being a wise ass.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm on probation. I'm like, how's this probation thing work? He's like, I'm not allowed to leave. You can't go across the bridge. 10 minutes. He's like, I'm not allowed. I'll get arrested. I'm like, what'd you do again?
You see, Meek Mill was under serious pressure from a 2007 incident involving a case where he was locked up for illegal
You
firearm
want to come to the
and
bodega?
possession. He got 2 years behind bars plus 5 years probation, and when his probation period was supposed to expire, a hard-ass judge continued to hold him on a legal leash. And things would not change for him as he grew older, even though his rap career was flourishing. In 2017, Meek picked up more probation charges for popping Willie and getting mixed up in an airport.
Come on, man. He got picked up for popping wheelies.
Meek picked up
That's tough.
more probation charges for popping Willie and
He probably his probation probably got lengthened because of that too.
getting mixed up in an airport brawl, violating his current restrictions. And when Michael heard about his new friend's struggle
Wait,
and real
and
brawl,
then he got another-
violating his
And then he got into a fight at the airport.
current restrictions.
It
And when
got
Michael heard
dropped,
about his new
okay.
friend's struggle
It got
and
dropped.
realized it was a problem on the judge's end, he decided to step in.
I'm not going to say who I called. I started calling people of importance to find out.
Hold up. Why did it get dropped though? Let's see what's going on.
Is everything he's telling me true? Like, I was hearing, like, all I was hearing was everyone loves him, but he's got this crazy judge. But you know what? I want to make sure I'm always on guard. If you're in my situation, you're always. And so I kept getting back. He's done everything he's been asked from a probation perspective. You know, he's well liked. He's a good guy. Yeah, he's a little bit on rap time.
Don't tell me what I
This
think
a
is
good
about to
guy.
happen.
You know,
he's
doing
about to
lots
say.
of charitable things. I wrote this letter, which I never thought it would become public. It became very public. I wrote this letter and basically talked about my relationship with him. I basically said, like, look, this has become one of my closest friends. Like,
That man sent the
you know,
judge
he
a
knows my
letter.
daughter well. He knows my mom. You know, he knows, all of my, partners in the Sixers.
Despite Rubin's letter and his appearance in court during the hearing, the judge still sentenced Meek to 2 to 4 years in prison. This was a shocking verdict considering everyone involved had
That shit
strongly
didn't help.
recommended against prison time, including the parole officer. It was abundantly clear that the judge had a vendetta against the young Philly native, but lucky for Meek, he had a billionaire friend in his corner of the ring.
I look at Meek, and he always wants to be Mr. Tough Guy. His eyes turn pink. There's tears coming out of his eyes. I can't remember the last time anything made me tear up. I have tears coming out of my eyes, and I looked at him. I'm like,
He
I will not
crying
stop.
because a random rapper that he doesn't really even know got arrested. Hey man.
until you're out of prison, and she's off the bench.
And that's exactly what he sought out to do, pouring over $6 million alongside Jay-Z to hire the best investigators and lawyers to fight for Meek's freedom. And to Millie, it meant the world.
You're now sitting in an orange jumpsuit, and you're still smiling from ear to ear. I don't get it. Like he said, if it were me, I'd be so mad. How are you happy? Meek sat there. He thought about it for like a minute. He said, Robert, I've been sent to prison 3 times for never committing a crime. This is my entire life. I've been in and out of this thing my entire life. This is the first time. People are fighting for me. You're here to see me today. Michael's been here 20 times. There's a crusade to free Meek. This is the first time that's happened.
All that effort was worth it in the end, as the judge would
That
eventually
man said he's happy he got himself a white knight.
get revealed to be super corrupt, even beyond the courtroom. Aside from multiple weird cases on her end, she was also secretly spying on Meek and even demanded he drop her name in a song. Some pretty strange behavior. But the real win in all this was for Michael Rubin, who was quickly being hailed as a model billionaire and culture icon. He kept riding this wave when he established the Reform Alliance with Jay-Z to combat legal system failures.
We said we're going to get 1 million people that are on probation or parole that shouldn't be out of the system. There was 4.5 million people at the time. This is 3.5 years ago. We've already cleared a pathway for 650,000 people that are on probation or parole to get out earlier from the laws that we've changed.
Michael Rubin was officially a hip-hop namesake, and the idea of having a rich white billionaire friend started sounding real good to young up-and-coming artists.
That man Meek really got used so Michael
Let's
Rubin
keep
could
this
get
real.
into the industry as a
When you're
big thing.
financially successful, it's easy to give money away, okay? I give lots of money away, that's easy. What's hard is to do the work.
But it wouldn't take long for the more sinister intentions of the richest man in rap to emerge from the most unseeming shadows. And it was too late for those that flocked to him.
The friendship with Lil Baby, what was it about him and your guys' rapport?
Lil Baby,
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Baby is absolutely one of the best human beings in the planet. There's never been a thing I've asked him to help with, like, from a charitable
see, man, you just looking at this right here.
beings in the planet. There's never
He has like he is the 1,000-yard stater. Look at him. He's up to no good. What is he looking at?
been a thing I've asked him to help with, like, from a charitable perspective with the Reform Alliance. There's never been anything. He's just such a great human being.
Soulless
I love
eyes.
his work ethic. When you hear his story, and I don't know anything about music, so when I met him the first time with Drake in the Bahamas in 2020, and he's telling me his story about, he was in jail a couple years earlier. He never rapped, and now he's got this great, kind of music career. You just want to root for the guy.
Rubin's new influence pulled in big names,
facts.
Lil Baby, Travis Scott, and Quavo, to name a few. Successful people hang out. It made sense at the time, especially given Michael's recent investment into Meek Mill. But a noticeable pattern began to emerge in these relationships that made people question his intentions.
Oh man, I gotta go back to
Lil
that.
Baby,
I ain't
Travis
say
Scott,
nothing,
and
but
Quavo,
I gotta
to
say
name a
something.
few. Successful people hang out.
What are we doing on the beach at 30 playing football? One man shirtless. We know what we're doing at the beach.
It made sense at the time, especially given Michael's recent investment into Meek Mill. But a noticeable pattern began to emerge in these relationships that made people question his intentions.
Why are you doing bunny hops, Meek? Because you got your
Oh,
ass
no.
beat in tennis. You got your ass beat. Keep going. Count out loud. Count out loud. Keep going.
That man's smiling and
Keep
hopping
going.
too.
Don't cheat on your bunny hops. They
He
suck.
happy to
Your
do
bunny
it.
hops suck. You got 250 more to go.
Super weird dynamic, and the internet exploded when they saw what was going on. Bro, this is some house slave type shit. I'm gonna hop for you, massa. When he lost, he went straight to hopping too. Man, the rap game is nothing but a modern day plantation. I discussed the situation in much more detail in my video about how Meek Mill destroyed his career. But one takeaway from that video is that this
that
was
bunny
all
hopping
weird
thing was
behavior
crazy.
for a man
It
like
might-
Meek Mill. A respected street artist who
he
really
coulda- he
portrays
coulda
the
wanted
image of
him
a
to do it for a
gangster.
reason.
It just felt really weird for him to do something like this.
He
And due to all the
wanted to tell him to do something, and when he told him to do it, he did it. He felt like he had that power over him. Just like back in the day.
negative publicity he was receiving, Meek Mill tried to explain that this was a game played in prison. But of course, that only got him flamed even more.
Someone tweeted at him, how much did they pay you to do this? This is the first time he's addressed it. Keep in mind, there's all these Diddy rumors about Meek. There's this, what I believe to be a fake audio about Meek and Diddy engaging in some wrestling for the cereal like he used to do with the, like he said he used to. People have this assumption that Meek is doing zestivities with Diddy or potentially gay. I don't believe that. So he says, this is a game I started from prison. We used to make killers do bunny hops, but they lost because it was too hostile for money. A YouTube channel.
That man really tried to play the
I'ma
AI
get Rubin
card
to bunny
on
hop
it.
for me, okay? LOL. I'm gonna teach him D-Thang hop. I don't even know what half of this means. The fact that he said we
Nah,
used to do this in prison and we
when Meek when he was getting exposed, I remember going on Twitter and seeing everything. It was crazy. But I just noticed I see this chain right here. Don't gotta say nothing.
used to make killers do bunny hops. This is one of those things where if Meek was right next to me and showed me the phone, anybody really, I'm looking at him like, dog, that is not what you want to send out. You used to make killers do bunny hops. What? What are you talking about? And then I'm gonna get Rubin to bunny hop. And this is the thing. Him getting Michael Rubin to bunny hop for him has no effect on Michael Rubin. Most people don't even know Michael Rubin is the owner of the company that he owns.
The clip of him doing bunny hops got so much attention
Yeah,
that it
that's
resurfaced
tough.
amid the Diddy allegation.
Because this This could have been anybody behind the camera, and people wouldn't know who it is. But they see Meek Mill doing bunny hops. They're saying, "That's you, buddy." The dude behind the camera, he has deniability.
Allegations a while back as well. To make matters worse, this wasn't an isolated incident, as Lil Baby was another rapper who was a victim of one of Rubin's house bets that caught people's attention, and not for a good reason.
What's the bet?
If I go to sleep from 5 to 4, you get 6 braids.
6 braids coming off your head. 6 braids off the back of your head.
The SPR manager is terrible.
My entire head. Bet.
Bets between friends aren't unheard of. But the eerie part of all of this is that we never even seen Rubin lose. It leads us to ask questions like, is Lil Baby really gonna get into Rubin's bed and shave his hair? And if Meek lost that bet to anyone else,
what was the bet?
What's the bet?
If I go to sleep from 5 to 4, you get 6 braids.
6 braids coming off your head. 6 braids off the back of your head.
What?
You fall asleep from 5 p.m. until 4 a.m. My entire head. Bet.
bets between friends aren't unheard of. But the eerie part of all of this is that we never even seen Rubin.
Why would he make that
It
bet?
leads us to ask questions like, is Lil Baby really gonna get into Rubin's bed and shave his hair? And if Meek lost that bet to anyone else, is he really letting his homies post the video online? The answer is obvious, and the truth becomes crystal clear when we see Kanye, one of the most high self-esteemed humans to ever walk Earth at this point, get talked down and demeaned on a post.
So this is what really happens with Peter, Evie, Kanye. What we do on our way to a Vogue event, ribs and french fries.
So what does Rubin have to say about all this? Well, he was
Boy, that video quality looked about as bad as my shit was earlier at 144p.
tell you that these are all mutually beneficial relationships, and the business mogul knows he can get to these successful artists for tips and ideas as well.
You were asking about Baby before, and like, you know, does he come to me for advice? He comes to me for business advice all the time, but I go to him for advice on stuff too. I'll ask him like, hey, will this, you know, is this a good idea or a bad idea?
While this could be true, the real benefit for Rubin, besides whatever freaky stuff is going on behind closed doors, is the marketing leverage that hip-hop superstars give him and his companies. And rather than being a pushover guy paying these rappers to be around and do his bidding, it really seems like Rubin is the guy calling the shots. Even in this incident with Meek Mill on a private jet.
Mike, get up off me, dog. You heard me, Mike? Get up off me, man. Look, this man on my legs, y'all. Get this man.
Hey, yo.
Don't be making fun of me when I'm drunk. You're gonna get another drunken hug tonight. I don't care what anyone says. You're getting a drunken hug. You too. You too. Drunken hugs are coming.
You're getting a drunken hug tonight. What does that even mean?
Tonight.
This isn't all speculation either, as we've seen him utilize a culture shifter like Lil Baby to promote his Fanatics gear on the track Merch Madness, a campaign where tons of merchandise was given out to fans. These rappers were playing chess, but Michael Rubin had them in checkmate from the beginning, pulling rappers into business endeavors and still capitalizing.
If a guy is drunk hugging, it probably means he is interested being intimate with her most of the time. In this situation, it is a him. Hey yo, two hymns.
On their influence. His use of rappers as pawns is enough to make you speculate his intentions, but the real red flag begins to dissolve whenever we look at his more elevated
That man was trying to give them a mouth hug.
social life, specifically his strange white parties.
You gotta investigate this Michael Rubin party a little bit further. Y'all don't think it's a little strange?
What?
Nah, the pictures I had seen from the party
The
were...
consistency of the A-list celebrities that go there.
The hugging. What other party in the universe do you see that many of that level A-list people at the same spot at the same time?
This annual
I know one other place, Jeffrey Epstein's Island.
Michael Rubin white party isn't what it sounds like, but might just be as strange and worth investigating, and most of all, disturbing in its nature.
The Met
This
Gala could be
high-profile
one
gala is littered with every A-list person on the planet. Even people far outside of Rubin's circle will show out for what is possibly the biggest elite social event every single year. We're talking Tom Brady to Jay-Z, Kevin Hart to Kim Kardashian, even Drake was recently seen there, looking like bro was absolutely done with everything happening.
Nah, Drake. I remember seeing this picture. Drake looked he looked old in this picture. He looked like he was 40.
To him lately. Basically, anyone considered an elite society is invited and most certainly attends these packed parties. Of course, the first assumptions from outsiders were Illuminati comparisons, and some even pointed to Rubin himself as the leader. There's even an eerie resemblance to this crowd and Jared Leto's cult. To even be considered for an invite, you have to be at the top of the famous profiles. So it makes sense that anyone would want to show out. But what's strange is the presence of guys like Baby, Quavo, and Meek, who are all far below the status of these other guests. Their attendance seems a little bit out of place, and questions got raised, especially when they found themselves in more questionable scenarios at the hands of Michael Rubin.
Now, what in the is this? Ain't no fucking way. These motherfuckers got him in a.
Aiden Ross did go. And you know what's crazy? Aiden Ross invited Kaisenat. He invited Rage. He invited like he invited Ack, I think. I think Aiden was in one of the pictures.
A reverse Oreo, and he showed
the reverse Oreo
that
was
guy
crazy.
Michael Rubin. He needs culture. I listened to him on a podcast, and all he talked about was trying to sell to culture. Well, here's the thing: you having $1 billion don't matter if niggas don't fuck with you. So, what is it in your benefit to do? Befriend niggas.
Nah, that was facts. What he just said. Having money, like, if you don't have anything to do with it, if you don't have anybody who can help you, like, have leverage and stuff, like, you're gonna be losing money. You'll have it, but you're gonna be losing it.
Friend, the hottest, like, throw the best parties. Who knows how much money? He probably lost millions off of this party.
With the Diddy Party activities coming to light, it's no surprise that people are beginning to question what goes on at the Michael Rubin estate. With culture floating around Puff Circle just 20 years ago, the same strange occurrences seem to be unfolding around a 51-year-old billionaire, especially given his relationships with the top of hip-hop. And now we're left to wonder why what lies ahead seems
51 is crazy. I thought he was around like 43 to 48 or something.
Rubin on his underwear, yo.
What?
I just noticed that. Yo, Michael Rubin got the hose.
Is it 3M on his? It's reflective off of the fucking. It's a white reflective material on his ass.
Real?
Yo, that's crazy.
Yo, is that real?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. Is that Fat Joe?
God damn, bro. Yeah, Michael Rubin got a chokehold on this shit. Like I ain't seen somebody have a chokehold on this shit in a long time.
I don't know, man. That seemed like light skinned dude. That's him right here.
Damn, bro. Yeah, Michael Rubin got a chokehold on this shit. Like I ain't seen somebody have a chokehold on this shit in a long time.
Michael Rubin, he freaky. He used that man Meek Mill's name to get into the industry, and now he's branching off to everybody in the industry.
While everyone
even
is
going to
discussing
other industries. That's tough.